Alright. So I got the story, Harold, and my story starts up on a farm with two farmers, as you can see right here, and their cattle and their little cabin hut thing. Okay, so this is the first shot. Alfred approaches Thomas over something he has, and he asks him, "Yo, what you got?" And Thomas, since they're bros, he's like, "Oh, hey man, I'd like you to meet Harold." And the next shot is a title card with his name. The main, I guess, antagonist, of this story. And Alfred goes, "Wait, isn't that the name of that idiot, Harold?" And Thomas goes, "Well, yeah. What do you think I made this thing, man? You know how much we both hate his guts. Thought, maybe we could, make a punching bag out of him. What do you want to break him in?" "Oh, do I?" said Alfred. Says Thomas. "I knew you would like the idea," as Alfred walks towards Harold. "You know dang well I don't like him at all. I don't like that bastard." Such strong language that Alfred uses, of course, but nothing more than, a typical, like, nothing that would guarantee, like, a rating of, like, PG-13 or whatever. Or higher than that, I should say. Okay. So the next shot, he drops his pitchfork and then commences to kick the scarecrow. And the next couple shots, it zooms out as he continues to kick Harold. And as he's doing so, he's like yelling, like, "Oh, screw you, screw that," like trying to like venting out onto this poor scarecrow who's just like, "Bro, I just barely existed. Like, why?" And I get kind of like panned it out just to show like he goes full at it, and then he makes much like a big ruckus at like one of his cattle is like, "Bro, what's going on over there?" So he takes out his frustration and so on, and some time passes, and in the next scene, Alfred is put up against like, the side of the house where we saw him in like the first shot. Just there, and it's been a while, and the guys have been using him as their personal punching bag. So Alfred, walks by. He doesn't really care as much. He doesn't really care. Like he's not gonna put much attention to poor Harold, besides punching him, of course. Okay, so he walks by, and then all of a sudden he hears Harold grunt, and he's like wondering, what the duck is that sound? He looks around. He looks towards it, faces it, and wonders himself, did I really just hear that? He's trying to he's like really confused, he's like, is something going on? And he kind of has a weird face because he also knows other things going on with Harold. He's not the same anymore. He's kind of grown bigger. So he calls over Thomas, yelling out, "Yo, Thomas, come over here. Tell me about Harold." And so he waits. Thomas arrives, like, what's happening? And Alfred explains, it's just something odd about this guy, I just I feel like I just heard something come from him, like it's just, he's stuttering a lot because he's trying to figure out, he can't believe he heard him grunt, and then he's noticing that as he later explains to Thomas, that he's growing, he grew in size, and Thomas kind of like blows it off, saying, "You're just seeing things, because it's Scarecrow, who's gonna believe you, you're seeing it, make a sound or whatever." So then he crouches down to like kind of Harold's eye level. Thomas does. While Alfred just kind of looks on, just like, I not want to get involved with this thing. And so then Thomas just commences to punch Harold. Just take out because he's the punching bag, so why not? Punches, punch, and so Alfred doesn't join in because he's kind of freaked out. He's just like, "Nah, I'm not gonna deal with this thing." Thomas doesn't believe what he said, so he's like, "Whatever, not gonna join in." That night, next shot's the moon, so of course nighttime, or probably should chose like a crescent or something. It's nighttime. There's a window, of course, peeking into the cabin, and there's Alfred sleeping peacefully until he hears a scream. He's like, "What's going on?" wondering what's happening. He looks around to seek for Thomas. He doesn't see him on his bed. He looks up, sees the front door is open. He goes on to investigate. He yells out, Thomas, where are you? Come on, are you okay? Or something, something like that. He's basically yelling out his name, like, Thomas, where are you? Or what's that? Just generic stuff. And then all of a sudden, the next shot's a bunch of, droplets of blood just on the ground. Droplets. Falls on the ground. Onto his feet. That's all he notices. That's how, Alfred notices. So then, Alfred looks up and is like, Thomas? And he's in shock of what he sees, obviously, And the next shot is Harold. A bloody little Harold right here. And the last shot of this whole story is him holding the face of Thomas. He skinned him alive. He's come to life, Harold. And as you can see, Alfred's kind of disbelief. And that's the end of the story.